So I've been up since 6 something because the kid got me up, and I don't even remember what I said last, but it's she puked again. I'm feeling a little bit sick, not real bad, but I did a lot this morning, and now I just feel exhausted, like I want to go to bed, even though I got a decent night's sleep. I did manage to get the pack of sketch cards finished and packaged and sent to China. I went to the post office, and I'd gone there before because it's like, when I sell stuff internationally through Etsy and eBay, and they're kind of like, just fill this out and go. But this, when I go to the post office, there's always like different hoops to jump through, and I knew it would take me a few minutes to do it. But then their assistants took a long time, and then they did it wrong. So they had to redo it, and because they did that, I had to redo all my stuff. So I was there for like 30, 40 minutes to mail this, which is another strike against, well, see, I don't want to not ship to China, but I guess it's not a sketch card strike, it's a shipping issue. But that's done. Oh, hi, Uzi. I leaned on this box right here, and I heard a little purr. And there's this little scoop. She camouflaged in here. Some drama just a second ago. There was some pee, there's been some puke, it's been an okay day-do, whatever, I'm a mess. But I got those sketch cards done, and mailed. I think I may have already told you that. 4 in the late afternoon, early evening on Sunday. As you can hear, I'm a little bit scratchy throat. I thought I was gonna feel a lot worse today. I actually got through the first half of the day feeling pretty okay, and then I hit the wall, and I feel fine. I'm a little sniffy, just tired. And I haven't gotten, I did a lot of house stuff, but I haven't gotten much artwork stuff done, and I was trying to motivate myself to do something, and I've been meaning to put my new Godzilla -1 print up on Etsy for a while, so I was like, oh, let me do that. Something that I've seen a few times. For those that don't know, Etsy sort of strongly encourages that you offer free shipping, at least free shipping over a certain point. So I do over $35 in my shop for US buyers. Can't for international, because as I've talked about before, there are times when I lose money sending a print to someone internationally, depending on where it is, and And even in America, in the US, I could end up losing a little bit of, not losing money overall, but like cutting into my profits if they're too far away and this and that, even if I do. But with the free shipping, if they're spending that much, I usually come out ahead by some degree. However, Etsy's the one that's like, you gotta charge free shipping to be competitive. I keep getting this. I've got this a few times now. You're charging too much for shipping. You could lose money, blah, blah. But my shipping is $5 for a print. If they add others, then, maybe $1, whatever, but like it's all, $3, $5. And generally speaking, that's a little bit less than it costs. It said you should charge actual cost or less. So I have the photo mailer and the bag and the board, and that coupled with the shipping cost, not including printing out the little tag and tape, which is a few cents here and there, but like usually I end up spending about $4 to $6. Well, it varies. But so this is the thing. It costs about $5 to ship it somewhere, not even including materials. So very often, if I charge $5, maybe it's costing me $6 or $5.50 or whatever. Maybe it's $4.50 sometimes. But it's what it costs, or a little bit less or a little bit more. And again, $5 shipping seems cheap for anything. Like I'm like, well, maybe other people are sending stuff that's much cheaper. It's like, well, no, people send shirts and things, and that costs at least $5. So I don't understand what that's about. And I always want to, and they're like, increase the prices of your items. So their idea is that my large prints, like this one I'm putting up, is gonna be $20. So they're saying, don't charge $20 and $5 shipping, charge like $25 and like $1 shipping or something, I guess, which makes no sense to me, because if somebody is closer, then I can charge them less money. If they're from England or Canada or Japan or something, then they're gonna have to pay more money because of the shipping. But the art itself is a consistent price. I don't want to penalize people. It's weird. I don't understand it. It's Monday.
Yeah, I want to be in it.
Okay, what do you want to say?
Oh, what's this video about?
That's a great question.
Dunkin' Donuts?
Being sick. How you were sick? How I was sick?
How are you sick?
I was sniffy and coughy, not as bad as you. You were puking and stuff.
Yeah, but you were puking.
No.
I just coughed on you by accident and then got sick.
Yeah, it happens. But today we should have had soccer, but we're not doing that. You're feeling better, but not that much better. And then we're supposed to see Gaga and do dance class, but we're not going to do any of that today, right?
Yep. Just stay out at home.
Yep. All right. I haven't felt well today. This is Monday, where there was supposed to be a certain amount of activities and relief from childcare duties, but the kid is just sick enough that they can't really go out and do things, and we don't want her around my mom, who's older and has some medical stuff coming up. But she's fine, and she's super high energy. And I'm not that sick, but I'm just sick enough that I'm a little bit low energy. And I did a really good job the morning playing with her, doing all kinds of stuff, but she's just nonstop coming at me. So I've been giving her more screen time than I normally would. But I've also been purging. I've been decluttering an area which I knew would be kind of easy for me to do, but I haven't done, which is clothing, specifically t-shirts. Here, shirts that are very on the fence, all three piles, but that I want to work, that I like. This one's empty, it was previously full. This one's like semi-empty with other clothing, it was previously bursting. So I got rid of a lot. And yeah, the plan is to not duplicate. Usually I'll just keep, wear 5-10 shirts and then wash them and wear 5-10 shirts and then I not duplicate them. And I start at the top, any shirt that I'm like, oh, I don't want to wear this, beyond just like, oh, it doesn't match my pants, or I'm going to, anything where I'm like, oh, this isn't comfortable or it's too tight or whatever, I'm going to put in where you just saw. The ones from there will then get cycled up here. And if something is rejected twice, I'm getting rid of it. That's the plan. This stuff, pile, is just, I'm getting rid of it. This stuff is in like pretty much good condition. It's just not my style, not my size. I haven't worn it in forever. So I might give it away, sell it. I don't know. But this is the easy piles. The only difficult part is shirts have sentimental value. I've already chucked a bunch of them, but like this is a gargoyle shirt. I got this in the 90s from like Suncoast Video when my mom lived in Delaware. Suncoast Video, I don't know if it exists. Gargoyle's been off the air forever, Oh, this one doesn't have sentimental value, but this is Brave Star, but it's a modern shirt, but it's like, I order shirts from like T-Fury and T-Public and places, Shirt Punch, places like that. And the sizing is weird, where you never know what you're going to get. The material could sometimes be very thin or it could be really thick. All of that is not great, but I understand it. But 2 or 3 times I've gotten this, it's hard to tell, but like, see how it looks kind of frayed and broken and like disintegrating? I wore the shirt once and it's rubbery. It feels yucky and tacky and it's falling apart. I have a couple shirts. Actually, I think there was a Vincent from Black Hole shirt in here like that. This is a Groovy Ghoulies shirt. This one is hard to get rid of. Groovy Ghoulies is one of my favorite bands of all time. Kepi Ghoulies still plays, but they don't play as a band anymore. These shirts don't exist. If this was in better condition, it might be worth something. I've worn it forever. I'm talking myself into keeping it. Okay, I'm keeping that one. This is Dawn of the Dead. This is a shirt I got at a convention back when I was in art school, back when you could only get shirts like this at conventions, but it's got holes in the sleeves and blah, blah, blah. This one I got at a convention in New York where it was a Transformers convention, the first one I ever heard of, and I got to meet Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime. Didn't cost anything. Just waited in line about a half hour, walked up there. I theoretically got a picture with him, but I didn't do a good job facing the camera. He signed my poster for free. And I even got a recording of him, like an answer machine message thing that I kind of messed up the recording on. But it was all free and it was all easy because this was in the olden days. Toy Dolls, another band I like a lot. I got this in St. Mark's Place in New York at a t-shirt shop. Again, when you would never find a t-shirt like this anywhere else because you couldn't get them online. You can tell I cut the sleeves off. I'm letting this one go. Going way back now. I've had this one since high school, and this is a Star Trek 6 shirt. It was not my shirt originally. I don't know where it came from. I didn't buy it at the store. I had it for a while. I gave it to my dad for a while. I got it back from my dad. I would keep wearing it even, except it's literally burned through. That's the oldest one in this pile. And then this one is from when I lived in New Brunswick, in Rutgers area, although I didn't go to Rutgers. This was like my Tank Girl punk shirt, and similarly, you could tell it's been cut up and stuff, but it's time to let that go. This is the back of, I think it's Montague Brothers Coffee, although I always call it the Wolf or the Coyote Shop because that's their logo. I love the outside here. They've got lights on, even during the day, which is a little unnecessary. But they got this cute little fountain and everything, and this has been my go-to when I drop the kid off at preschool so that I could sit down, have a little breakfast, and do a little work. So she's still a bit sniffy and sick, as am I. She's fine. She's not sick, but has those lingering after effects, but no fever or anything, so they let her in school. Great. Yesterday was a bit rough, so I'm hoping today I can relax, get some work done, do some art. And the last time I was here, it was nice, and then really quickly it started baking me because it got really hot today. It's overcast and cloudy and windy. Overcast and cloudy are the same thing. And windy, and it's in the 50s, which is perfect for me. There's no one out here but me. I don't love how loud the music is. They often have kind of country music here, which is not my jam. And I don't mind it for the ambiance, but it is a little loud. I kind of wish I brought headphones so I could listen to something different. But, oh, look at a little bird. There's a little peeper. See him peeping over there? You can't really see. Over, yeah, there it goes. Peeps. Okay, you saw the peeper. All right, bye. Oh, poop. I just undid that. I don't think there's a redo in Procreate. Leaving Rival Coffee, where I had been doing some work. I did a little bit of work yesterday too. I did that sketch of my old character Smithsonian, but I did a little bit of work on my Power Rangers commission, and I just did, I don't know, at least an hour, maybe more on it just now. Oh, and this is, like, I feel like I did a really good job doing the layout. And then I went in and picked all the characters, and then I was kind of cleaning up some of them, and and there was like one or two where the poses weren't quite right, and one or two helmets, and but nothing was really slowing me down. And then I changed one character to another, and I've spent easily 2 hours, 3 hours on the rough/pencils of one character, seen from behind, from the waist up, because the pose was a little awkward, but also this character doesn't have like the normal spandex suit. They have like this sort of pirate jacket, but most of the details on the front, so it's hard to make it look like that from the back. And I decided to put a gun in their hand, but it's like this real specific, laser blaster, but it's also a pirate gun. And then the helmet from behind is weird because and it's just like redrawing. Now it's at the point where a lot of the other ones are, where it's not ready to go, but it's like, okay, I could tighten that up, and then like one more pass to tighten it up, then I can ink it, I think is where it is. But it's taken me hours to get it there on one. So, maybe I should use AI. Maybe that'll make me a real artist. It's Friday morning, and I realize I haven't made an update recently. Last week was a mess, and this week has been better. Not better for Tech Advisor Arzuki's work. Not better for the hours I've had to work because of it. Maybe a little bit better, but most of the sick is gone. Today will be the third day of preschool, which will mean we'll actually have done all 3 days that we're supposed to for the first time. I say for the first time. Last week was the first week of preschool. Things have just been better, easier, still harder than normal, but yeah. I've been getting more artwork done. I finished up those sketch cards. I still have to work on that Power Rangers commission. I got really stuck on Super Mega Force Red, which is the figure I was talking about previously. Yesterday I did another OC sketch, which you're probably seeing at some point. Maybe it's right here. Original character sketch of a character I had called Clamor, which was on the same team as Smithsonian, which is this sort of pseudo-military superhero team I invented. I had done 8 pages in pencil, like done the 8-page story, and I had started another story, and I had done multiple drawings of them and backstory and all this, and just never really did anything with it. And I think I remember why I started. There was a Jersey Droz, the artist, had a podcast, they had a podcast with, it doesn't matter. There was an art podcast, and there was this thing called Sugary Cereals, and they were doing like 80s, 90s Saturday morning cartoon stuff as a comic book online anthology thing, and they were like, oh, submit an 8-page comic story and it could be part of Sugary Cereals, and that's what this was for. And then they stopped doing that, and so I never finished it, which is silly because I don't need them to do it, but that's what happened. Anyway, I tried to draw her, and it was really hard, which I should really be better at, considering I do a lot of large characters and things. It's also easier with monsters and things like that. Also, I still struggle with hands, especially closed hands or holding hands. And so I decided to have her doing this in forced perspective. And I redrew it a million times. And I just had difficulty with the stance. And then her face, too, which I had some weird iterations of. The one I ended on is close to what I originally had. I also didn't look at reference for her or for anything other than doing this for half a second. So I think Smithsonian came out pretty close to how I always drew them. I think she changed a bit. But I'm trying to just do something a little loose, fun, educational, because I'm practicing things. Just, I don't know, something other than work that is required of me, and also some more human stuff because I've been doing so much kaiju stuff. But I'm tired, but good. I just did that thing where I was recording for like 5 minutes and I wasn't recording. The short thing is I'm at the coffee shop I like. It's cold for California, so it's like 50 something. Everybody's inside, so I get to be outside alone, which is nice. It's been a little less than an hour here. Working on another one of my old original characters, Seor, and struggling with foreshortening once again. I know I need to work on a lot of fundamentals, but I think hands and foreshortening are the two I should focus on, especially going back into the horror A4. Perspective, I guess. I don't know. I like that sky. Going to yard sales today. This one looks fairly worthwhile, but I'm always surprised when I'll follow yard sale signs, like 10 of them that people put up all over town. They might even have posted it somewhere. And I get there and they've got like 3 chairs and a box of bottles for $1 each. It's like, what? If you sold everything here, you'd make $20. What do you do? It's a lovely late afternoon. No, late morning, early afternoon. What do you think? Is it a lovely? All right, there's the park. What would you like to say about the park?
It's great. I like climbing and stuff. I love everything about the park.
Okay, great. Have fun. 11:15 Saturday night. Today didn't go as how I planned. But I've been more productive than expected. I've been working on this on and off. I just did I'm having trouble with this pose here, and I think part of it is that I was trying to base it off of, there's an homage cover that it's an homage to a Superman cover. And this was John Bogdanovich, I think is how you say his name. This was his Superman in the middle. And I think I was being too slavish to his pose and his style, which doesn't fit me, doesn't really fit Power Rangers. So I've been just trying to adjust that as well as this and working on that stuff. But previous to that, over the last week, I had done Smithsonian and Clamor, which I had a lot of difficulty with the foreshortening stuff. And then I've been working on my old characters, Seor, who is sort of kind of a parody of Aquaman, but like kind of Aquaman if he was like Deadpool or Madcap or somebody like that. But I was having a lot of trouble with the foreshortening, and it's supposed to just be like a fun warm-up thing, and Smithsonian was. I did him in like an hour or so, and I didn't think about it too much. Clamor, less so. Seor, less so. This is like a full-on as though I was doing a pinup or something. Not that it's even finished art, but in terms of how much work I've been putting into it. Said I'm happy with it. I also just got done editing another video, put away some box. I've been productive today, as well as doing a lot of really good parenting. So I'm very tired, and I got to get up and do it again tomorrow. But it's one of those days where I wish the day wasn't over, because I started off really bad, actually. My stomach hurt, and I got a bad night's sleep. But once I got over that, it went really well. Yeah, good day. I wasn't going to really jump that. It's Sunday. I'm going to balance beam. Ready. Hey, look at me. I'm a homeowner. We got, I've been trying to get grass to grow here properly since we moved in. And one of the issues we have is that there's a bunch of rabbits and squirrels and stuff that come and eat the grass and poop and pee and all that stuff. So I got some of this deer and rabbit repellent. I'm gonna spread this around and see if we get grass that lives. It's Monday. I'm thinking about my father, who died just over a year ago. He died just before Easter. Now sounds like I'm getting emotional. I just have a little bit. Well, anyway, I've been thinking about him because it's been about a year, and there were a couple people sitting behind me talking about recovery in terms of alcohol. My father was an alcoholic, among other things, and they were talking about recovery, church, and all kinds of stuff that was very close to things that I experienced or that my father experienced. And I was thinking about ways in which various systems failed him, ways in which I failed him, ways in which he failed himself, he failed me, he failed the systems, blah, 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 blah. I'm just thinking about that sort of stuff. And, but one thing that is funny is I realize I don't think at any point he ever went to therapy. I don't know if he's ever went to therapy in his entire life. And not that I've been to tons of therapy, but I've been to a little bit. And, you know, a lot of people I know nowadays have, and even my mom once or twice has. And it's sort of a normal standard thing that people do to some extent, especially if there's been trauma. And you know, he certainly had trauma. And when he got sober, he just did a lot of talking to, you know, AA members and church members and things like that. And I don't know if he spiraled through a lot of things, and he became sober, and then he became this sort of zealot, born-again Christian, and then he was like, no, I'm not doing that anymore, and eventually he became an alcoholic again. But he definitely glommed onto communities and ideologies to sort of prop himself up throughout his life. I've seen this. This was just, you know, accelerated and amplified towards the last few years of his life. And I do wonder now, I wonder if therapy, I don't know if it would have saved him, but it would have given him tools to work on himself from within and his own problems, as opposed to always just looking externally, even when he was trying to fix himself. Anyway, I'm drawing Power Rangers. So I was drawing this, which is Seor, a character from a comic book that I never did called The Null Set. I'd done a few of these, Clamor and Smithsonian. Had a real difficult time with that. Had some friends in the Discord group give me some tips. Better than it was, but still not amazing. Where is the Power Rangers group shot I was just working on? Oh, here it is. So this is the rough I've been working off. I basically got this rough really quick and was very happy with it, and I've been struggling to clean it up. And one of the things is, here we go, this is the main Red Ranger. This is the one that has to be the best and most correct and accurate, because there's nothing overlapping it, there's no shadows on it, this is the focal point. And so I've been redrawing it many, many times, and I think I said this previously, that one of my problems was going into this homage cover, I really thought I would almost sort of trace the layout and sort of have like layout / super rough pencils already done, and that's just the layout kind of, but I've been adjusting it, adding characters, changing poses a little bit, but this one I had kept the most slavishly like the original artwork, and it just doesn't work. The perspective is a little weird, that you know, Superman's this big bulky character, Red Ranger is not. I don't have a similar style to John Bogdanovich or whatever, so I'm trying to redraw it now, and I feel it's similar to when I was doing the Super Megaforce Red in the foreground, but way more important. So I'm trying to not rush myself. I'm trying to not think about all the hours I'm putting into this and how it needs to be done soon. And I'm trying to just be like, hey, I'm working on it. I'm doing art and working. And if I spend 3 hours and don't finish one figure, hey, I worked for 3 hours. And hopefully if I have to do this again, next time it'll take me 2 hours and then 1 hour. I think a lot about the thing of, you know, first get good, then get fast and good. I definitely got fast way early in my career doing caricatures and other things. I was able to do really, really fast work. Sometimes good, sometimes not, sometimes it didn't matter. And I struggle with good. I still struggle with good. And fast has gone away because of my struggles with good. So I'm trying to let go of fast to just get better, good, more practiced, build that muscle memory, build that visual library, and try to not, and this is part of why I don't want to take assignments, part of why I don't want to do commissions, because there's that pressure, and I don't think it's good for me anymore. I think it used to be, and I don't think it is anymore. And so another thing I say a lot, and I don't know who said this originally, I credit it to Larry Hama, the writer-artist who, among other things, is known for doing G.I. Joe for Marvel, and now IDW, and now Skybound, that slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I doubt he invented that, but I always think of him, and I think of like a samurai sword, and I'm not being racist here. He talks about a lot of things like that, where, you know, samurais are like, wah, you know, or maybe they do, but like it's smooth, and they practice it so that they can be fast. And so I guess the idea, the way I take it is like, if I hurry up and go to pick up my cup of coffee and knock it over, well, that was a mess. Or I pick it up and jiggle it, or, you know, blah, and, you know, like, but if I just slowly and confidently pick it up, I was going slower, but it was smoother. There's less chance that something could go wrong. It's more accurate. And so this is something I try to apply. I've been trying to apply to art, where slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So go slow, take my time, get everything right. The first time, the fifth time, not the 20th time, because as we all know, that if you follow me, I redraw things ad infinitum with minimal returns. So it's a balancing act, but I'm trying to, as I'm looking at it now, and I'm like seeing all the mistakes. And that's the other thing I've talked about a lot too, is I can see mistakes, but I can't always fix them. I can see the mistakes. I can know the theory. Like I was working on foreshortening, and it's like, oh, this is wrong. And I sort of understand how to make it right, but then when I try to do it, it never works out. Or I can get the stick figure or the gesture right, but when I lay in the masses, it's wrong. Or I can lay in the masses, it's right. But then when I try to put the musculature or the costume, it gets wrong. And so there's always problems. But I'm trying to not worry about speed. I'm gonna move on. I was thinking I was here for a really long time, because it feels like it's something about being out. And I've said this before, like not at my house, I'm more productive, I'm more focused, the stress drains from my body. It's just, I don't know, it's just nice. And I was here for exactly an hour and a half. And I finished, you know, that Seor picture. I did some decent work on the Red Ranger, and I'm ready to move on. I'm gonna go hit another Target and then head home and do some housework and maybe do some more artwork later. Definitely tomorrow when she's at school. But it is, I wish I had an office, I guess. I wish there was a place I could go And I guess technically I could have come here and not spent any money, but I feel like, oh, I'm gonna get a coffee and sit down. Like, I wish there was a place I didn't have to go and buy things to, I don't know. And I don't. This is all first world problems. Shut up. So I'm at Montague Brothers, which is the coffee shop near my kid's school. And if you remember yesterday, today's Tuesday, I was talking about how I get more work done. I like working when I'm out at a place where typically I've paid for coffee or something. And that was my intention today, but I forgot my iPad. And now I'm not an artist who's like, I can't work on, pencil, paper. Like, yeah, if the internet went down, if technology disappeared, if Photoshop disappeared, I could still draw and create. However, I didn't bring any of those items with me either. And the thing I wanted to work on is on my iPad. So instead, I'm going to try to get some administrative stuff done, meaning billing and scheduling and emails and all that kind of boring stuff. Not even art related, just life related. Eat my breakfast, and then I'm going to go to Target and go home and try to get some work done at home, which is not as nice, but I'm trying to do the right thing here. Not Walmart. Then I'll be home. I haven't been on a hike in a long time. That's what we're doing right now. Do you think we'll see any real poop?
Maybe, but it will still be yucky.
That's true. That's one of the defining characteristics of poop.
Oh.
It's 8:10 in the morning on Wednesday, and we're running late. But yesterday, Tuesday, didn't get a lot done. Went for a hike and I didn't get a lot of housework done. I don't know what I did yesterday. I had extra duty watching the kid, and I did a good job entertaining her. I took a shower. I think I touched my artwork for a second, but I didn't really work on much of anything with that. Yeah, yesterday was just one of those days where it just went by. It's a little before 7. It's still Wednesday. More evidence why it's good for me to get work done during the day, because I felt pretty good today. I had some free time. I drew. I felt like pretty up driving around. And I got home and I did loads of laundry and dishes and compost. And I built this set of stairs for the cats, and I hung out with the kid. And then, I don't know, I'm just exhausted. It's not even 7, and I'm like, I could go to sleep. And almost a little bit depression. Depression's not the right word. Malaise, melancholy, sort of okay, not only am I exhausted, but what's the point? So more the reason to try to get work during the day, or late at night, but late at night screws me because then I have to get up early, so. Stop saying that. It's very rude.